Kane, and I'm in New Haven, Connecticut. And today we are going to be speaking with Nathan Johnson in Los Angeles, California.
My name's Nathan Johnson. I do a handful of things. Predominantly, I compose music for film. I also produce records for a handful of indie bands. I have my own band. I write songs and perform. And then I also do a fair amount of consulting for bands, working with them on stage shows and visuals and the arc of a concert, as well as working for a graphic design company called The Made Shop. Most of the stuff I do kind of touches music in one way or another, whether it's through film or indie music or visuals connected to music.
Can you talk a little bit about what projects you're involved with at the moment?
Currently, I'm finishing up doing the score for a film called Looper, which is a science fiction time travel assassin movie. And yeah, the approach to this score has actually been really different from anything I've done in the past. It's less melodic. It's highly focused on texture and atmosphere. And in some ways, it feels like an action movie score, but rather than using traditional instruments, we kind of started with field recordings and created instruments out of industrial sounds like fans or even treadmills or machines.
What role do you think visual arts play in the mass-mediated industry, particularly the ones you're involved with music, film, and even design?
I think at one level, visual art is inescapable, especially how I interact with it. Visual art is hugely important. Of course, in movies, it's part and parcel with the music, and one just isn't the same without the other. But, the graphic design stuff that I do, how a band presents itself, on a record or in a live concert, ostentatiously has to do with the sound. And it's amazing how much what you see sort of informs how you perceive the sound. I'm always talking about how visuals are so much important, how the band presents background, how important it is to have those backgrounds not compete with the other stuff, just a variety of things like that.
With new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available everywhere. Do you think this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry?
For me personally, I think it's really positive. I feel like the ability to access, a version of something that exists is really helpful. And I think it's really helpful for people who aren't established as artists as well. Most of us don't have the ability to hop on a plane and fly over to London and check out what's in the Tate. But the fact that you can set up a Tumblr stream where all this amazing art is presented to you every morning, I think in terms of someone who makes stuff, it's super inspiring and really helpful in terms of connecting you to what's going on all over the place.
Are there ideas or concepts that you see that your industry has created?
I think in certain things, like where we're at technologically right now, new things are being created that are pretty exciting. We've had since the beginning of time the idea of playing a concert and people gathering around, but some of the lighting designers and show designers recently creating pretty new things that have never technologically been able to exist before.
How has your knowledge of art history influenced your creative process?
To be honest, I don't think that much about that context. Part of that may be I'm not making visual art in the sense of the art world. My industries are very new, very recent. So looking at it in that shorter realm, I don't know, it actually feels more like working amongst peers or peers who are just a little bit older. It all feels so new. I think because of the nature of technology and the internet right now, it's sort of more of this communal free-for-all, and just interesting to see what sort of begins to come out of that.
Do you have a favorite artist or artistic mentor?
I don't think that there's a single artist who fits that bill, because it's different pieces from different places pulled together. So yeah, I feel like in each of those fields I could name things. Ever since I was a kid and I saw Stomp, that has been a huge influence in terms of the idea of using things not specifically created to make music for creating music. Willie Williams as well in terms of, show creation and dynamics. I love Rothko in terms of just the simplicity and stunning presentation of a simple idea.
Nathan, I always appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much for your time.
Definitely. Absolutely. Good to talk to you briefly.
Once again, that was Nathan Johnson.